Hello, it's Pamela Chappelle-Malou, and I'm going to talk about a syndrome called Leaky Gut Syndrome in dogs and cats. And as we get through this, you'll understand why this is a very important syndrome in dogs and cats. To begin with, this is important to note that 70% of all disease starts in the gut. And dogs and cats meet the outside world through their mouth because they go around the outside prehending things with their mouth. Thereby, the outside world meets their inside world through their gut. The gut, or the GI tract, has more surface area to its lining than the skin. There is also a whole immune system lining their gut. This is a picture of the GI tract and the digestive system of the dog, where it starts in the mouth and goes down the esophagus, goes into the stomach, into the small bowel, and through the jejunum into the large bowel and out the rectum. And included in the digestive system is the liver and the spleen. There are several causes of leaky gut syndrome, but the biggest cause is a grain-enriched food or grain-enriched diet. Also included are poor quality pet-grade ingredients of food, and included in pet-grade ingredients are those types of foods would be any brand sold at the grocery store or even the prescription brand foods that you get at the vet office. Pet-grade ingredients, if you don't know this, include abscesses, tumors, tuberculosis lesions, or anything a human cannot consume at the slaughterhouse is considered pet-grade ingredient. Dyes and preservatives in food are all considered causes of gut syndrome.
Does leaky gut syndrome occur? What's the genesis of leaky gut? Well, what happens is the grains chronically scarify or scratch the gut lining, and other causes inflammation of the gut lining. And then as the food passes through the inflamed gut, the lining degenerates and micropores, holes occur between the gut wall and the bloodstream. Then the food particles, also known as antigens, leak through the gut wall into the bloodstream. Antigens travel to the liver where they form antigen immune complexes. Some of these antigen antibody complexes stay in the liver, but others travel throughout the body via the bloodstream to the kidneys, the thyroid, the skin, and the joints. And then these complexes cause inflammation where they're seated. Disease caused by leaky gut that follow this are then inflammatory bowel disease at the site of the leaky gut, hepatitis or liver disease, nephritis or kidney disease, immune-mediated thyroiditis, or also causing hypothyroidism, dermatitis or skin disease, otitis or ear infections, and arthritis or joint disease. Itis is the medical term for inflammation. Go back one. The symptoms depend on the disease state. Those include vomiting and diarrhea, and sometimes increased thirst and urination. The diseases related to this would be the inflammatory bowel disease, food allergy, liver disease, and kidney disease. Lethargy, weight gain, and periods of feeling cold are all symptoms of hypothyroidism. Joint pain, immobility, trouble getting up and down relate to arthritis. Head shaking and itchy ears relate to otitis. Itchy skin, irritated skin, and sores relate to dermatitis. Diagnostic testing. Most important is food allergy blood test. We like to use a lab called Varl, and I've given you the website here.
that your veterinarian can use. It's just a matter of drawing some blood, spinning off the serum, and sending it to this lab in California. And the request is an extended food allergy test. You can also do a blood chemistry, CBC, and a urinalysis to find out what's going on with the liver and the kidney, and also to help with discovering about inflammatory bowel disease. Fecal testing for parasites and Giardia. Also, for a thyroid, it's much better to do more than just a T4. A lot of veterinarians just do a T4 level, but we like to do a complete thyroid profile, and I like to send it to Dr. Jean Dodge's lab at Hemopet. Didn't mean to flip that over right then. For inflammatory bowel disease, we also include folate and cobalamin and TOI studies. Some veterinarians do ear swab cytology for otitis. I have found that doing the food allergy testing is most important, and rarely do I have to do ear swab cytology testing. Treatment plan. Most important of all is to get the animal on a no-grain diet. Also, food allergy results. Eliminate all allergens, even the low-grade number 1s. When you get the food allergy test results back, they allergens from 1 to 5 or 1 to 6. And we eliminate all allergens, even the number 1s. One thing to recognize is if they're allergic to salmon, all no-grain dry foods have salmon oil in them, and it must be avoided, so you need to feed homemade cooked or raw food diet, or frozen raw diet, or freeze-dried raw diet. You cannot use no-grain dry food if they're allergic to salmon. Human-grade ingredients with no preservatives and no dyes are a must. Treatment plan continued would be GI NCAP by Thorn to heal the GI inflammation and for vomiting and diarrhea. Another product to use is called RX Clay to heal the lower GI inflammation and also for diarrhea. You can also use something called Answers Raw Goat Milk to help the immune system and provide probiotics. The animals actually like the taste of that. And there's a Chinese herb called Bao Hei Wan. Let's see if I can close this. That's good for vomiting. There are also Chinese herbs that we can use for diarrhea and for liver disease and for kidney disease, but I'm not going to go through all that right now. Specific no-grain diet ideas will be discussed in another video, and also treat other diseases caused by the leaky gut syndrome, specific to the liver and kidney disease, specific to the ear infections, and specific to hypothyroidism and joint disease. To finish with, if 70% of all disease starts in the gut, then it follows that 70% of all disease can be healed by changing the diet. Think about that and realize that a lot of our practice in holistic medicine follows around changing the diet without having to use a lot of drugs. I hope this helps, and recognize that many of the diseases can be healed by just changing your animal's diet. Thank you.